This talk will introduce you to an original spiritual philosophy described in this book, The Truth About Truth. The Truth About Truth exposes an ancient error in how we think that has kept us from the truth and a better life. Worse, what I call the error has biased us towards fear and a host of needless negative emotions with devastating and tragic results. The error alienated humanity from the truth, reality, and life itself. The truth has evaded us because it doesn't look like we expect it to. Once the real nature of truth is revealed, it will lift the veil on reality to set us free in a better life. Yes, I'm afraid this is yet another talk about personal transformation and saving the planet. I ended up as a philosopher trying to understand my own rather eclectic life. From the beginning, I wondered about this amazing universe and how it all came to be and why, the big questions. I wanted the common sense, scientific, philosophical, and religious answers I was learning at home, school, and church to make sense and agree, and they didn't. It bothered me that those claiming truth were often in conflict and irreconcilable. But I sought old-fashioned objective truth, the kind that was the same for everybody. It bothered me that the Bible told me the universe was 6,000 years old and science said billions. It bothered me that science said nothing about the things that mattered most, like my feelings and how to find love, peace, and happiness. I craved real truth and an authentic life based on the things actually are, not illusions. But the truth evaded me. While in college studying philosophy, my confusion led to a severe crisis of belief. Call it a nervous breakdown, but I ended up so miserable, I almost took my own life. Thankfully, a spiritual experience saved me, but my experience brought no message, commandments, or recommendations of one religion over another, only a belief in God. Not long after, I made a philosophical realization that explained why the truth had evaded me. I discovered a mistaken belief at the root of all our thoughts that had put the truth beyond my grasp. It was then, over 40 years ago, that I decided to write a book. I realize how improbable this sounds. After all, humanity has been seeking the truth since we began to think. None who have claimed truth have met the test of time. In this postmodern age of subjective, relative truth, my truth, your truth, we're losing hope that a shared objective truth exists at all. Technology has delivered unprecedented access to knowledge, but it seems more knowledge brings less understanding. For all its sophistication and power, the modern world appears increasingly lost, broken, and out of control. The old ways that got us here have failed, but new ways have yet to emerge. We see this lostness in an epidemic of youth suicides, increasingly frequent mass shootings, and in religious extremists and ideologues intolerant of all others. Our youth struggle with a lack of values and meaning, too easily swayed by virulent ideologies that promise them purpose in waging holy war. People find it hard to express their beliefs and feelings. We often wear masks that alienate and separate us from each other and ourselves. We have come to glorify authenticity because so many live inauthentic lives. We linger in a postmodern malaise of angst and apathy, adrift in hypersensitive political correctness and rampant dishonesty. Yet for all its difficult challenges, we know life is good. It just seems there is not enough peace, love, and understanding, and too much confusion, evil, and suffering. We wonder if alienation, cruelty, and violence are the inevitable result of our human nature, or if there is something we can change for a better future. Something is wrong with humanity, but it is not our intrinsic nature. Our alienation, malaise, lostness, and the plagues of war, religious intolerance, and much of the suffering and cruelty we endure is caused by the error. The good news is that recognizing the cause of a problem is the biggest step to solving it. This talk will lay out the nature of the error, its tragic cost, and the way to free ourselves of its terrible grip for an authentic life. The Buddha tells us that what we think we become. Our beliefs define us and the reality we experience, for good or bad. Without beliefs, we have no identity, value, character, or guidance in life's choices. Our beliefs are formed from what we accept as true. Whether we realize it or not, we are all philosophers seeking truth on life's journey. What is truth? And what is true? Truth discriminates between reality and illusion. If real, it's true. If not, it's false or illusion. Reality should define what is true, just as what we believe true defines what is real. Reality and truth should balance like a math formula, in equal identity. Real equals true. I call this the reality equation. To know the truth is to realize the universe. What we believe true matters to the reality we experience. But what happens if we misunderstand reality and believe a false truth? The reality equation says that what you believe true will balance in the reality you perceive, even if in error. Once we believed the earth was the entire universe, and flat at that, this mistaken belief manifests itself by causing us to sail close to shore for fear of falling off the edge of the world. Our thoughts kept us from exploring beyond the horizon and a greater life, alienated from reality by illusion. Our beliefs have evolved over time. As powerful new tools of perception emerged, like telescopes, the flat earth evolved to a round earth, and so on. We now witness a universe that our ancestors could not have imagined in their wildest dreams. But for all that we have learned, a devastating error remains hidden in our thoughts that corrupts the reality that we perceive. The error has stayed veiled because it was not an obvious mistake in space, like a flat earth, but an error in time. Aspects of the universe changed so slowly that our ancestors were fooled into believing them fixed and unchanging, eternal truths. The sun had always risen. The stars continually spun in the sky, and we thought they always would. We believed we saw eternal perfection in the unfailing regularity of the sun that could be known with certainty. Our ancestors were wrong. Nothing is perfect. Nothing lasts forever. Someday, even the sun will grow cold and will not rise. Perfect eternal knowledge is not real. It is an illusion created by our short lives. Certainty is an illusion. Perfection itself is an illusion. The error was believing that perfection was even possible. The allure of perfection is strong. It is the highest and best standard we can conceive, and who doesn't want the best? But though we yearn for certain knowledge and make it our truth, it does not make it real. We raised the bar on truth so high, it became impossible to reach. Certainty is an illusion. Within this universe, the only certainty is uncertainty, and I'm not even sure about that. But what at first appears to be a depressing and useless dead end, instead proves to have profound implications to truth with immense value. The first is exposing how the error tainted truth itself. If certainty is an illusion that does not exist in the real universe, then truth cannot equal certainty. Our reality equation is out of balance. We follow a false truth. Certain truth corrupts reality even more than believing in a flat earth. The definition of truth determines how we judge reality from illusion and sits at the root of all our beliefs. Nothing is left untouched. The error has not only kept us from the truth, it has cost us our sanity, emotional balance, inner peace, countless lives, and inconceivable fortune, and if the world keeps on as it is, perhaps the survival of our species. The error's alienation has had devastating consequences on us intellectually, spiritually, pragmatically, and most of all, emotionally. Our emotions bind us to one another, motivate and inspire, and guide us when the intellect is unsure. Most importantly, love and the entire range of emotions are the best of what we are and make life worth living. But it seems our emotional balance is skewed to the bad, and we struggle to find the peace, love, and happiness we crave. What we think affects how we feel. The error tilted the emotional playing field of our thoughts with a bias towards fear and other negative feelings. It didn't make our good emotions like love and happiness impossible, just much harder to achieve and sustain. The error put us in a defensive posture to the universe. The error is the root cause of a cascade of negative consequences. But as we go through these troubles, realize that each is a ray of hope. If there are wounds caused by the error, then we can correct it, be healed, and level the playing field. The error began its destruction with our greatest fear, the fear of the unknown. Believing certainty real made it good and loved for the guidance it offered. But that made its opposite, uncertainty, bad and feared. The error caused the unknown, the only thing we truly experience in this life, to be seen as a negative. As we fear the unknown and life is uncertain, we fear life itself. Worshipping certainty is the cause of humanity's alienation from life. Only human beings can let fear overwhelm the love of life. Only people commit suicide, the epitome of alienation from life. The fear of the unknown makes us feel safer close to shore, biased to limited thinking and shallow passions. The error has kept us in our comfort zone, needlessly withdrawn and diminished with self-imposed limitations, rather than daring to express who we really are. Once perfection was considered real, we demanded it from ourselves and everyone else. We became dissatisfied with anything less and let the perfect stand in the way of and denigrate the good. The grass is always greener elsewhere, and nobody and nothing ever measures up. Satisfaction with ourselves, situations, and each other became much harder to achieve. The universe expresses itself in many shades, but the error polarized all experience into true or false, right or wrong, and good or bad. Polarization meant that if we think ourselves right, all others who disagree must be wrong, the bastards. Truth and reality lost all shades of gray and the nuance to fully describe our experience. The error allowed righteous and intolerant authority to enlist the lost in their crimes against humanity, often in the name of God and country. When certainty became good, we became shamed by its absence, though we are all born into total ignorance. Our shame caused us to hide our imperfections in fear, and we became dishonest. Dishonesty damages integrity and honor with ourselves and in the eyes of others. Worse, we hide our ignorance and lose the opportunity to gain a greater understanding of life. Worst of all, the need for certain truth separated us from the divine. Since our current reality equation states anything not certain is by definition not real, and since God's existence is uncertain in principle, believing in God became irrational and was pushed into faith. The error has biased us to materialism and made us blind to deeper spiritual truths we need to understand the universe and answer the big questions. The error made it hard to believe in God. None of this misery is necessary. The truth about truth holds the unknown is not to be feared but celebrated. Uncertainty is the well of life and the greatest good. The future is unknown, and bad things do lurk there, but good things lurk there also. The unknown future is the source of all new experience. We should fear the bad things that come from the dark, but we should not fear the dark itself. If we avoid uncertainty, we limit the good as well, and we throw the baby out with the bathwater. Despite the air's bias to fear and negativity, we crave uncertainty's underlying goodness. We are attracted by the mystery and wonder of life, in taking a chance with the roll of the dice or that first kiss. We love the thrill found in exploration, adventure, and in new knowledge. The error has led to dishonesty, dysfunction, and emotional devastation. It is time to correct the error and change the bias of our thoughts from fear to love. It is time to assume our true and better nature. It is time for the truth to come out. The Truth About Truth's mission is to expose and correct the error with a new standard of truth, reality in reality, not in the illusion of certainty. Whether it is real truth or not is for you to decide. What is real truth? No one can be certain of what they see, but we can all tell what we see as we see it. Real truth is honesty. Honesty has no preconceptions, nothing to maintain, and nothing to prove. Honesty helps us to see things for what they are, not as we expect or want them to be. Honesty lowers our mask to bring us back into authenticity. Honesty brings integrity and honor. Honesty brings peace of mind. The universe isn't fixed and unchanging. It is indeterminate and alive, an awesome, wondrous mystery that will always transcend us. Truth isn't a certain, changeless final destination. It is an honesty that evolves with experience on the journey. Besides, as certainty is impossible, honest probability is the very best that we can do. God is real. We are spiritual beings having a material experience. Life has God within. We are all one. Forgiveness of others and ourselves is essential to happiness. Life has a good and noble purpose in this imperfect universe. God is love. The Truth About Truth offers compelling new reasons for these abiding spiritual truths so many have embraced. We live in times of incredible promise and peril. Advancing technologies could transform our lives into a utopian dream. But weapons of mass destruction, by their very existence, demonstrate our lack of maturity to have them, and the very real threat they pose to this bright future. Honest truth can end the war of thoughts within and between people, and maybe we can finally put these terrible weapons down. The future is in our hands. The error has kept us from the truth of ourselves and the universe. Honest truth lets us answer the big question from a new perspective. Honest truth can free us from self-imposed limitations that obscure our true and real magnificence. We are better than we know. The old saying, "The truth will set you free," is truer than we realize. The thinking that brought us here cannot carry us further. Recognizing truth as honesty can set us all free to chart a new way forward. Thank you for listening. Namaste.